How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation. It's time to get creative. It's time to get that inspiration and that imagination just all revved up. And today's inspiration comes from Loopy Dave. And if you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He has such a unique and fun, playful style. Really reminds me of a lot of the kind of Mad Magazine sensibilities, but just brought to kind of today's technology and today's illustration stylings and painting. But he's just so great. Every piece that I find of his, I really just love. He's got this really great way of exaggerating and caricaturization. I can say that better. That'd be even wonderful. That's just really unique. And I can see leaving the little grumpy cat up there. But also he's got a great mastery of anatomy and layout and design and color, and I really like how he uses I tend to use the thicker lines. Line work is really important to me. I tend to find myself drawn to that, and you can see he's just got some really nice line work throughout all this as well, as keeping still clean lines with developing form and layout really well. So definitely, if you haven't checked out his work, also known as Dave Dunstan, check out the description below, because I'll throw a link down there where you guys can see more and more of his stuff, because I think he is just phenomenal and really top notch. And this is such a unique style. Every time I see a piece of his, you can instantly tell that it's something from him, and I think that's really important to try and find that individual voice in the community that you want to be creative in. And then I wanted to share a quote with you guys from him as well. It's funny, but the less I worried about developing a style and just enjoyed my art, the more I seemed to develop one. And I think that kind of goes into what we were just talking about, and an interesting subject that I don't know that we've really talked about too much here, and that's about style. And I think really it comes down to kind of the way that you think and the way that your workflow is, and blending those two with your experiences and your knowledge and your beliefs and all that stuff. And it's just going to lend itself to come together. And I wouldn't push style at all in the beginning. It's something that I'm just now kind of looking into personally. I think you really need to develop fundamentals and a good workflow, and just understand the basics and the foundations of whatever medium it is that you're working in before you even need to worry or think about style. But develop that stuff first, and then style is going to tend to just develop on its own, just because of the way that if you're drawing, the way that your hand is built, and the way that your head interacts with your hand is uniquely you. And if you're a singer, the way your vocal cords are shaped, and the way that you breathe and the way that you stand, all that kind of stuff is really unique and individual. So try and monopolize on that kind of stuff, and not worry about developing a style, but letting that style and letting your personality just develop on its own and be natural. It tends to be usually the people who have more success look that way. But again, everyone's unique in their own way as well. So let's go ahead and get into some animation. This is the Mannequin rig. It's a free rig you can grab over at Creative Crash. And if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the video, we give ourselves 48 frames, which is like 2 seconds of animation. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource that you guys can play around with, and kind of go from there. A little bit of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate. A little bit of kind of instruction or guidance, or talking through my thought process while I do it. And hopefully the main goal of doing all these is to help encourage you guys and make you feel like you're not alone in your creative work day every day, and also to hopefully inspire you guys to go off and create your own stuff. And if you do, definitely share it down below as well, whether it's because you learned something, or we talked about some interesting subject matter here that you want to try out on your own, or it's because you disagree with me, or you have a better way of doing it, or either of those things. And whatever causes you to go into that creative world is really the whole goal of these videos. So that being said, let's go ahead and get in here. And I was thinking for this one, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I'll do like a upside down climb. Thought would be kind of fun for this one. What I mean by that is we'll just have him hang upside down and do a little bit of, let's go ahead and I think it's always good to have the attitude of playfulness whenever you approach anything creative, because in reality, that's all you're doing is just playing. I mean, obviously, there's a mastery to it, and a study that goes involved in that as well. But in any sort of creative field, it's always good to never forget or always remember that the things that we do are very, very playful. And I find that the things that resonate well with me, or that I find value in, tend to have that good childlike spirit or extra level of playfulness. So don't always take yourself too seriously. Have some fun. It's okay. I think it's infectious when people tend to have fun when they're doing something creative. Whenever you've got a smile on your face and working towards your goals and your dreams and sharing that with other people, that's all important. Let's kick up the feet here. Here a little more. That back. Just trying to create an interesting kind of storytelling pose. We talk about that a lot, but a pose that gets us gets the idea across of what we're going to be doing with the rest of our animation here. Let's go ahead and rotate the hands over, rotate over again. Let's hang the body down a little bit more. Those hands down. And this one probably will end up being a little bit of a shorter video today because we don't have as many controllers with this. So as long as all the controllers work pretty well, which shouldn't see. So far I haven't gotten any inclination that they should be pretty straightforward with how we approach this one. And we're not doing a cycle today. This will be more of a feature style animation where we actually move the character off of the base panel here. As you see, we didn't use that really. And that's just depending on how you want to approach your animation and what you're doing, but we really want to plant some stuff down, so that's why we have everything in IK as well. And let's go take that foot off here. That down. And move that over here. So we don't have like fingers or anything, so we want to still get a little bit of cupping kind of in here. Let's pull that up. Okay, I think that's a fairly good starting pose to start off with. Probably move that foot down a little bit more so it feels like it's really planted on there. And let's go ahead and make sure we just have NURB curves, NURB surfaces, and polygons selected. Let's turn our grid off. And let's set our frame range from 0 to 48. If we want to extend that, we definitely can, but we try to do at least 48 frames every day. And grab everything, make sure we save our file, Control S. And we are using Autodesk Maya 2014. And as always, there will be a link to this rig and Maya and more stuff on Loopy Dave if you guys want to check that stuff out in the description below. Which I always, if you're going to do anything based on these videos, check out the people that I get inspired by, because hopefully they'll inspire you to do some awesome work as well. Okay, and let's go opposite. Let's actually switch this foot up and this foot up. And let's do that instead. Okay. Okay, let's go 12. Go ahead and push that forward. Go ahead and push that forward. And the hips. And we're just kind of building the foundation here. Probably even go a little bit more. Bring side will set those. And go move that one down to about there. Bring that elbow down. That far. About there. Bring the hips back. And we're just kind of building the foundation here for this stuff here. Doesn't have to be perfect at all yet. Movement on here, and let's go ahead and extend that foot back a little bit more, just so we still have a little bit of space between the elbow and the knee on that side. Okay, let's go ahead and grab the other side, key those at 24, and move forward, move that elbow forward. That one's a knee, pretty sure. Bring that foot down to about there. Move the hips down again. Okay, grab that guy, key him there, and bring that down to about there. Foot down to there, bring our hips down. Let's go ahead and look at that now. That's alright. Real basic, but works for now. Let's go ahead and pop open our graph editor. Let's look at the translate Z on the hips there. Let's go ahead and make that constant so we don't have too much slow in or slow out or jerkiness on there. Again, we could probably tamper with that and leave it a little bit more jerky just because it probably wouldn't be a consistent amount of movement. But I think for this one, we'll go ahead and leave it as it's a constant. I think we might even pull it up a little bit more. Okay. And let's go ahead and do a little bit of up, a little bit down, a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit up, and this is probably way more than I want to do, but I'll go ahead and over-exaggerate and then pull back. So let's go ahead and even it out a little bit more. The thing that I like about not having to do cycles is so I don't have to worry about the seam from where it ends to when it restarts again. It's a nice thing to not have to worry about, but you have to do a little more plotting and everything too. And plus you get those nice plants in there so the hands really stick on the ground and the feet really stick on the ground. Still probably a little too much, so let's go ahead and minimize that a little bit more. Okay, and let's go ahead and get the passing positions in. So let's go ahead and lock down everything we already have on those hands. We'll go lift it up, and then I'll go back down. And lift it up, and then I'll go back down. Let's look at that foot. Again, we're just gonna go back in and hit S on our keyboard so we really lock in those main keys that we need. Let's actually go out. Out again. We still want to go up a little bit though. So let's go lift that up a little bit more. Just gotta look at that. And let's go ahead and do the other side now. And again, we'll probably tweak these because I don't want the timing to be all everything every 6 frames. So again, let's go ahead and make sure we keyed everything. I'm just gonna hit S on the keyboard again. Raise that up. Raise that up. visible or as clear for movement on there. And let's go and grab this guy. Again, we're going to go and lock down all those main keys we already built in. Go to translate X, we'll pull it out. Translate X, we'll pull it out. And go a little bit up as well. Let's see how to translate Y's here. And let's go ahead and delay them about 2 frames. So that'll make them hit a little bit harder when they go down. Maybe only 1 frame. Okay. And let's go ahead and go to 3 here. Let's see. Drag it down there. Lift it up here. And then drag it back there. Lift it up there. And let's take the rotate Z's and let them even out 1 frame after the translation hits. So translation's going to hit, then the rotation will and that'll add a little more to that contact there. So let's go ahead and watch that now. Okay, let's go ahead and save our file here, and let's go ahead and approach the other hand. So we're going to drag a little bit there so it kind of peels off. And give it 2 frames before, overextend it, and keep that. And then we're going to drag a little bit off there, 2 frames before it lands, and go up, there we go. And let's give us 1 more frame before it lands out. And let's go ahead and look at it now. Okay, let's do a little bit of rotation here on the foot. Let's have it rotate back here. Key selected. Forward. Go. Drag it back and push it forward a little bit. It's probably a little over the top. It would be nice if we had some toe to really work with, but that's okay. I've got to use what we got here. Drag that back. Push it forward a little bit. Okay, I'm going to save that. And it's going to minimize a little bit the rotate X on the foot. Let's go and even it out a little bit more too. Still want a little bit of everything, but just so it won't be so over exaggerated here. Let's go look at it now. I think I'm kind of thinking with this hand here, I feel like it should maybe universally be nudged over and translate X a little bit more, so it really feels like it's on there. Okay. And then let's go ahead and push the hips over here, because it would favor the planted foot. graph editor and make sure we did a good job of keeping that fairly balanced from side to side. And let's go look at that now. And let's do rotate Z here. Actually, let's do rotate Y. Lean into that leg that's planting. And here, a lot of times this is the rotate Z controller, but they're kind of flipped in this rig. That's okay. I'll zero that out again. Let's go and see that. Okay, we'd probably do less of that. It looks a little bit over exaggerated. So we'll scale it back a little more. Let's go and see it now. Okay, and now let's do some rotate Z to favor the forward planted foot here. And then we'll offset this stuff in the chest so we get that little bit of twist as well. And again, we want it to feel fairly even between the two sides. Doesn't have to be exactly even. It's good to have a little variation there, but I want it to not feel like one side's really favored over the other. Okay, it feels like it's starting to move pretty well. And let's go ahead and do some rotate Z here. We'll lean in to that arm. We'll wait being put on that arm. The other side, we'll lean into that. Into that. Back again. And zero it out. Let's go and see that now. Okay. And let's do some rotate Y, so it would favor the forward arm here. Forward there. Forward there. And the other side. And back again. I get that little bit of twist and everything in the body. Feeling a little better. And let's go ahead and even that out again. Maybe a little much on there, so let's go ahead and err on the side of less and more here. A little bit less there, a little bit less there, bring it back down, and let's see it again. Okay, now let's go and do a little bit of rotate X here. Get down, back up, down, back up, down, back up. And we'll offset this in the chest in a moment. But let's keep that pretty clean, because this is just going to be a little bit of compression, so we get some looseness in the belly area. We don't need a lot of that. So let's go and see that. We want to do the opposite here, so. I think we're doing the same thing. We might have to flip it. Let's clean up our values here. Let's go and see that now. I feel like we need to amp up this chest a little bit more. It feels a little dead to me. So let's just kick it up really high. Okay, again, probably too much, so let's scale it back a little bit more. just going to smack into that pole. So I'll have to figure out how I want to address that. If I want to do more head movement, but that's going to make the head really wobbly. If I want to scale it back there. Yeah, see, that's not how I want that to work. I want it to be going the other way, but that means it's going to intersect into the pole. So I'll either have to do less movement in the chest or universally move it down. Let's see. Alright, obviously that's way too much. So, first off we need to do less on there. And secondly, let's go ahead and just take everything on the rotate X and then we'll just bring it back. So let's see. Let's also take everything here. Let's bring that back a little bit as well. That should allow us to bring the head forward a little bit more. Again, we gotta be careful so it doesn't feel like it's gonna smack into the pole there. Maybe one thing we could do is take the translate Y on the hips, raise that up, and take the rotate X and bring that back, and that will give us a little more space there as well. There's always usually multiple solutions for multiple ways to address an issue. Just gotta find whichever one is the one you want to do. It's the fun part about animation. There's not a yes or a no or a right or a wrong answer. I mean, there's obviously stuff that's gonna not be as pleasing to look at, but let's call it different challenges to approach and different ways to go about taking them on. I think that's a fun part for myself at least. Okay, let's go and bring that back. I feel like this first one seems a little bit bigger. Let's watch it a little bit more. The neck still feels really stiff. But I gotta make sure it's not gonna hit the pole. So let's tweak it a little more. Again, pull the hips up a little bit more. Rotate them back a little bit here. Rotate the chest back a little bit more. And allow the head to go forward a little bit more. Just exaggerate a little bit. There we go. It feels a little more lively. I think the problem is our translate Y is off a little bit. There. Let's see that. And I feel like it could probably drag back a little bit more as well. This first arm move feels a lot bigger than the rest of them, so maybe we should nudge that forward a little bit more. Okay, let's go ahead and save our file here, and let's go ahead and extend that a little bit longer. Zoom in, maybe do a little more dynamic of an angle. Try and get a better camera angle here for it. least from this angle, it feels a little too lifeless there. And now the head feels like it's doing a little too much work, so maybe we'll minimize it from here. Okay, that works alright. Let's go ahead and create a new camera here so we can give ourselves a different background color. Cube, bring that up. Assign a new material to it. What color do we feel like today? Today seems like a bluish day, so let's do blue. Is blue gonna not show up as well? Gray? Blue and gray usually is a good mixture. Curves off. I think one thing I might do, just from this angle that I'm noticing, is this one right here. The knee and the elbow feel a little too close, so for taking that foot move and we'll just push it forward a little bit more, and that should give us that little bit more space that we need before. So obviously they're not hitting, but it felt like they were a little close. Let's go turn our curves off. Let's go get our manipulator out of the way so we can actually see that. And go ahead and play that, and we'll take a look back at where we started. We're looking at Loopy Day today, and it's funny, but the less I worried about developing a style and just enjoyed my art, the more I seem to develop one. So I think that's a great message for us for today, for myself especially, and you guys. I mean, you're already super advanced and know all this stuff already. So a lot of times, I think you guys are great. Anyways, I think it's important to focus on enjoying the process and the journey, and learning new things and trying new things out, and really experiencing all that there is to enjoy about creation and creating new and amazing and wonderful things. And if you guys are listening to this, you guys are the creative future. Totally believe in you. I love you lots. And thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Keep being awesome. Keep working on your journey every day. And that being said, I'll see you for some more animation tomorrow.